Big weekend of high school football playoff action sets up another big weekend. Justin Jarrett has the latest in LowCo sports.
Hey LowCo sports fans, it's time for another playoff edition of LowCo Lights on WHHI, powered by LowCoSports.com. And the number of teams repping the LowCo is dwindling quickly, but we knew at least one LowCo squad would come out alive because the Bluffton Bobcats and the May River Sharks ran back their rivalry Friday night in the Den, and it was a Donnybrook to end all Donnybrooks. The Bobcats eked out a 24-21 win 2 weeks earlier in the tank, and this one went down to the wire and then went some more. Trading scores early as Bluffton QB Aedan McCarthy punches it in from the 1 before his counterpart, Tanner Macy, finds some room and breaks free for a 41-yard score to tie it. Then it's Andrew Johnson finding paydirt from 42 yards for the Sharks. But McCarthy came right back, finding Roman Benjamin for a big gain and then connecting with Benjamin again in the end zone to draw even once more. McCarthy finished off another drive with a short touchdown run, then went to work on the 2-minute drill after a defensive stop. He hits Benjamin over the middle, then finds him again for a big gain to put the Cats in field goal range. And then a little razzle dazzle with a quick out to Carnell Warren for the flea flicker, and he's going deep for Benjamin, but A.J. Hamilton stays home and breaks it up, and Bluffton settles for an Ethan Cartmel field goal and a 10-point halftime lead. Sharks came out swinging in the second half though, and that's Gage Duncan into the end zone. But McCarthy and the Bobcats come right back, and Nate Ulmer finds a seam and splits it, racing to the end zone to make it a 10-point game again. May River needed a big play, and Asa Haskins provided it, taking the ensuing kickoff back to the Bluffton 30 to set up a Hudson Tanner field goal and make it a one-score game. The Sharks defense came up with a big stop, and then Tanner Macy takes over. He punches it in to tie it at 31, and we are headed to overtime. Sharks up first, and Sean Mitchell scores, but McCarthy answers right back, floating one to Warren in the end zone, double OT. Bobcats up first this time, and McCarthy is under pressure, but he's able to extend the play, and he finds Nate Ulmer for the score and puts the pressure back on May River. And it's Macy. They kept him in bubble wrap all season, so he was healthy for a playoff run, and he came up huge Friday. He takes it in for the touchdown, and then the Sharks push their chips all in and put it in the hands of their senior 3-year starter QB1, and he sends them into the second round with a 46-45 win in double overtime and an instant classic you can watch on Buford's Own's YouTube channel. The Sharks aren't the only LowCo team still alive in the Class 4A bracket, as BJ Payne's Hilton Head Seahawks survived a scare at home to beat Crestwood 19-17. It was another huge game for Troy Timko, who rushed for 138 yards and a touchdown, while Derek Renijeski was 13 of 20 for 145 yards, and Will Jimenez had a monster night on D, including a safety that proved to be the difference. In the Class 1A bracket, Ridgeland rallied for 2 touchdowns in the final 13 minutes to force overtime behind senior Winston Smith, who added the game-winning TD in OT for a 26-20 victory, while Hampton County cruised to a 42-21 win over Woodland in Class 2A. It was the end of the road for Buford High, Battery Creek, Whale Branch, and Hardyville, as well as Hilton Head Christian Academy and Buford Academy, who fell in the SCISA semifinals. The LowCo will be represented in the SCISA championships, though, because Thomas Hayward rallied from a 14-7 deficit and ran away in the second half for a 49-14 win over Dorchester Academy. Tony O'Banner rushed for 214 yards and 3 touchdowns on just 12 carries and racked up 14 tackles on defense. In other LowCo football news, you might have seen former Hilton Head Seahawks star Poona Ford showing out in primetime last night for the Los Angeles Chargers, but you probably didn't catch another former LowCo star's record-setting game on TV. Former Bluffton Bobcats quarterback Lee Kirkland is still slinging the pigskin at the University of Pikeville, where he has rewritten the school's passing records and put himself in the national record book Saturday. Kirkland went 41 of 47 passing for 646 yards and 11 touchdowns, both NAIA records, leading U-Pike to a 90-12 win over St. Andrews to close out the regular season. Crazy work, as the kids say. And the May River girls volleyball team did some crazy work in the playoffs to reach its first state championship match, but the Sharks fell short Saturday against powerhouse Pickens. May River was 1 point away from closing out the third set and taking a 2-1 lead, but the Blue Flames stormed back to steal the swing set and rolled through the fourth to finish off the Sharks for their 16th state title. We'll talk more about that matchup when we're live at 9:30 p.m. tonight for the LowCo Sports Lowdown, and we'll look back on all the action under the Friday night lights and check in on other sports news around the LowCo. So tune in to the LowCo Media YouTube channel. For LowCo Sports and WHHI, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go LowCo.
We want to thank all of our guests for making us just a little bit smarter over the last 30 minutes, and a special thanks to you for joining us for the last half hour. If you missed anything at all, we will be back in 90 minutes. I'm Bob Stevens.